Amaka had always been a bright and promising girl, known for her beauty and intelligence. Growing up in Lagos, she had dreams of excelling in basketball and her academics. When her parents decided to enroll her in SD, Teresa's boarding school, she was excited yet nervous. She had heard stories about the school, its strict rules, high academic standards, and the bonds of sisterhood that students formed. On her first day, she walked through the tall gates with her bags in hand, taking in the grand buildings and well-manicured lawns. She met her roommate, Kami, a soft-spoken girl with kind eyes. They quickly bonded over their love for video games, and Amaka felt hopeful about her new environment. Little did she know that her journey at SD, Teresa's, would be far from the smooth academic and sports-focused experience she had imagined. Beneath the surface, the school harbored secrets that would test everything she thought she knew about herself and the people around her. A few weeks into school, Amaka caught the attention of a group of senior girls. They were elegant, confident, and respected or feared by many students. Their leader, Kiroma, had a magnetic presence, and when she approached Amaka after basketball practice one evening, Amaka felt a mixture of excitement and intimidation. "We've been watching you," Kiroma said with a smirk. "You're different, strong. We think you'd fit in with us." Amaka hesitated. She had never been part of an exclusive group before, but the idea of having powerful friends was tempting. She had seen how students treated the girls, how they commanded attention when they walked into a room. Without thinking much, she nodded. "Okay, I'm in." At midnight, Amaka was blindfolded and led to a secret location behind the school's chapel. Her heart pounded as she heard whispers and laughter around her. "Do you swear to protect our secrets and be loyal to your sisters?" Kiyoma's voice cut through the night. "I swear," Amaka said, though uncertainty gnawed at her. A cold liquid was poured over her hands, a strange ritual she didn't understand. The other girls cheered, welcoming her into their inner circle. As the blindfold was removed, she saw their faces lit by candlelight, eyes filled with something she couldn't quite decipher. Amaka quickly learned that membership in the group came with unspoken rules. The girls looked out for each other, but they also had expectations. Loyalty was everything. She was instructed to carry out small tasks, sneaking out to get supplies, distracting teachers, and running errands that seemed harmless. But the more she did, the more she realized how deeply entangled she had become. Her conscience pricked at her, but the fear of being cast out or worse kept her silent. She told herself it was just a phase, that she could leave whenever she wanted. But could she? One night, Kiroma gave her a real test, one that would define her place in the group. "We need you to steal the principal's exam questions," she said casually, as though it was a simple errand. Amaka's stomach churned. I can't do that." Kiyoma's expression darkened. "You swore loyalty, didn't you?" Torn between her morals and the fear of what might happen if she refused, Amaka stood frozen. This wasn't what she signed up for, but she was in too deep. Amaka's hesitation cost her. The next morning, she found her locker vandalized with red ink spelling out one word, traitor. She realized there was no easy way out of the black roses, as the group was secretly known. Either she obeyed, or she suffered the consequences. Over the next few weeks, she was shunned, harassed, and isolated. She knew she had to escape, but how? Amaka spent sleepless nights trying to find a way out. She considered confiding in a teacher, but feared that the Black Roses had informants among the staff. She thought about running away, but where would she go? One afternoon, Kami noticed Amaka's unease. "What's going on with you?" she asked gently. Amaka hesitated before whispering, "I need help." Kami listened intently as Amaka revealed the truth about the Black Roses. Together, they decided to find a way to expose the group without putting themselves in direct danger. Kami and Amaka began to carefully collect evidence, recording conversations, documenting messages, and noting suspicious activities. They needed undeniable proof to ensure the school authorities took them seriously. One evening, they sneaked into the abandoned storage room where the group often met. Hidden behind old desks, they recorded a secret meeting where Koma and the others discussed their next move. Amaka's hands trembled as she clutched the recorder. "This is it," she whispered. "This is our chance." Just when they thought they had everything under control, someone betrayed them. A note slipped under Amaka's door read, "We know what you're doing." Fear gripped her. Had someone overheard them? Were they being followed? That night, Kami disappeared. Her bed was empty, and her belongings untouched. Panic set in as Amaka realized the Black Roses had taken her as a warning. Determined to save Kami, Amaka sought out the one teacher she trusted, Mrs. Adeola. The teacher listened carefully and, after seeing the evidence, took immediate action. With the school security's help, they searched the old storage room. They found Kami tied up but unharmed, her eyes filled with terror. The Black Roses had been ready to silence her for good. Mrs. Adeola assured her that things would change, that the school would no longer turn a blind eye to cult activities. But Amaka knew that healing would take time. She had made mistakes, but she had also learned the true meaning of courage. As she looked back at the school one last time, she whispered under her breath, "Never again." And with that, she stepped into the waiting car, ready to start anew. Leaving SD, Teresa's was only the beginning. Amaka thought she would feel safe at home, but the nightmares followed her. She woke up sweating, haunted by the threats of the Black Roses. Her parents tried to comfort her, but they didn't understand the depth of what she had endured. Determined to move on, Amaka enrolled in a new school, one far from the memories of SD, Teresa's. But starting over wasn't easy. She felt out of place, hesitant to trust new classmates. She kept to herself, focusing on her studies, but the shadows of the past still lingered. One evening, she received an anonymous message on her phone. "You may have left, but we haven't forgotten." Amaka's blood ran cold. Had the Black Roses really let her go? Or was this just the beginning of another nightmare? Amaka tried to push the anonymous message out of her mind, convincing herself it was just a cruel prank. But deep down, she knew better. The Black Roses had connections beyond SD, Teresa's, and if they wanted to get to her, they would find a way. Her parents sensed her unease, but assumed it was just the stress of adjusting to a new school. They encouraged her to make new friends, but Amaka couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Every time she walked home, she glanced over her shoulder, half expecting to see a familiar face from her past lurking in the shadows. Kuruma and the others were taken away. their reign of terror finally over. This is not just a story. This is more of a warning than a story. We can never know what later happened to Amaka. This is just a lesson for all. I hope we both learned something amazing from this story. Thank you. Some of your kids out there could literally be living out there and at risk of having the same fate as Amaka. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for our support. Thank you.